Hello. So in this video, I'm talking about the ENTJs. So let's talk about this group. This is an awesome group, very phenomenal group. Very focused, driven, tough. And why is that? Well, let's look at their functional stack. They have extroverted thinking first. We know extroverted thinking is about efficiency. It's about logical concepts and putting logical things together in the outside environment. Their second function is introverted intuition. So how does that come together? Because I like to focus in on the first two functions first and then work my way down, because the first two functions work very intimately together. These are the first two that we put our attention on. So as an ENTJ, you're focusing on logical things in the environment, but the thing is, it's happening on a very intuitive level, meaning that you're getting different realizations, different understandings, different insights based on all of this outside information you're gathering at a rapid pace. So these people are very insightful, very intelligent, have a lot of ideas, concepts. And the thing is, they have the ability to have these things come to them in a way that's very intuitive, meaning as they go through their world, and just to say this as well, their third function is extroverted sensing. So a lot of the insights they're gaining, a lot of the things they're learning are coming from things they're seeing in their outer environment constantly. So they're going out there, applying that extroverted thinking, using that extroverted sensing, meaning going out there in the world, battle testing, seeing the different things out there, learning the different things out there on a person-to-person, face-to-face, extroverted sensory basis. And then as they do that, they're processing everything and coming up with these brilliant insights, these brilliant ideas, these brilliant understandings. And what it does is, when they get these understandings, these insights, what it does is it drives them to want to get more. So a few things about the ENTJ types, and they are very driven in that regard, very focused. That NI, which is their second function, a little bit different from the ESTJs, is that NI gives them a sense of tunnel vision, where they can focus in on something and just go completely in, and then essentially be like a sponge soaking everything in that external world. They also have that extroverted thinking and extroverted sensing, where they have no problem asserting themselves in their environment. They can assert themselves at will. They're not really afraid, because you got to remember, the two extroverted functions that they have are extroverted thinking, which means when it comes to logic, they don't mind putting their logic out there because they trust it, because that's the main thing they're dealing with, is that extroverted thinking. Constantly coming up with different logic, thinking about different thoughts, ways to put things together. And then they have that extroverted sensing, which is all about the external world, connecting with your outside environment. And so essentially what that does is it puts you in a situation where the different insights that you have, you can assert these insights into the world. The different ideas you have, you can assert those things into the world, because you have the fortitude and the willpower to do so. And that willpower and fortitude is very much so coming from that extroverted thinking and extroverted sensing. But at the same time, they do very much so have that introspection. They enjoy that introverted intuition time, that time to relax and reflect and organize everything that they've taken in from the outer world. Also have that introverted feeling as a fourth function. So they do need that alone time. They do have a little bit of that loner element, where they can sit back and observe everything outside of them and be like, why is that the way it is? Why are people doing that? That's not efficient. That's not really a powerful thing to do. And so what you get is this balance of someone with so much insight, power, fortitude, force. But then you also get someone that's very introspective, with a lot of ideas and a lot of philosophies on everything that they've come across. So that's a very interesting aspect about ENTJs. ENTJs are, at their best, you can imagine them like they're straight go-getters. a lot of the time when I think of ENTJs, I think of someone like Diddy, you know, um, someone like Diddy or Puff Daddy. If you guys don't know, or Sean Combs, whatever, he embodies an ENTJ to me because with him, you see his ability to put people together, to create amazing masterpieces or great projects like he has with certain artists. You get that extroverted sensory energy where he likes to project himself, where when he's in a room or in an environment, you can feel it, you can sense his presence. But then you also get that introverted intuition where he is able to come up with these ideas or try this beat with that. He adds in an element of a little bit of difference sprinkled in, of uniqueness, of because these come from insights that he found that was like, no, this is going to work. A classic example is when, for those of you who might not know hip hop or who do know hip hop, this is a story about hip hop. And, Diddy, when he introduced the song to Biggie Smalls, a big time rapper, who, if you're in America, you should know the guy, all right? If you don't, you just been in your basement, all right? But a guy named Biggie Smalls, he didn't want to rap on these 70s songs, like these 70s instrumentals, these older instrumentals. He was like, this guy was from, a lower socioeconomic environment where the guys were gritty. They rapped on like hard beats and stuff. And he was like, I'm telling you, this is going to work if you get on this track. And that's kind of that introverted intuition right there. Like it knows, like, no, if we do this, this is going to work because everything I've seen, all the logic I've seen in this space, everything that I've seen in this space is telling me that if we do it a little bit different, it will have this effect. And guess what? It took a lot of resistance, but when Biggie Smalls finally made the song on that beat, that ended up being the biggest song that Biggie Smalls ever did. So this is the brilliance of that TENISE, FI, because that FI is what keeps them grounded. It's what keeps the ENTJ trusting what their logic is saying. It's that anchoring feeling that's like, I just know what I'm saying is right, is valid. You know what I mean? And so when you put all that together with ENTJs, you get someone who has a lot of brilliance and a lot of great insights. Now, the FI is low. So that does mean that they are a little bit disconnected. That means they are a little bit, their FE is basically non-existent, almost like it's something that takes time to develop in terms of them being able to fit in their environment and feel comfortable, and really more so making other people feel comfortable in an environment with them. Because you got to realize when you're so focused on innovation, expansion, productivity, growth, and that's dominating your focus, it's hard to like worry about how someone felt when you said something a certain way, especially when you lead with TE. Like TE is, just tell me what it is. Like, let me know what I need to know. That's what TE is. Like, what do I got to do? What do we got to do? And let's do it. Efficiency. What's the logic that we got to do? Let's go. But a lot of the time that can make it seem like they're kind of stomping over people. And it's important that if they want to really self-actualize and be the ultimate versions of themselves, they got to begin to value the people and the people in their environments. Because at the end of the day, as an ENTJ, whether you like it or not, you're going to be a leader. You are a leader. And people are going to depend on you to create some of the greatest innovations that we plan on having in the future or already have come across. And so it's important that as an ENTJ, you begin to value these, value the understanding of people, and try to work on being a little bit more understanding so that everything you do can be even more powerful and be even more effective because you're actually helping people be a part of that experience in a way that isn't alienating them or alienating yourself, So that's the key focus with ENTJs. But ENTJs, a lot of brilliance, a lot of intelligence. I personally love learning from ENTJs because that TE logic is a lot of the time when they give it is just so raw. It tells you everything you kind of need to know on a raw scale. And from there, you can do as you will. But that TE logic is very powerful. And coupled with that introverted intuition, which is such a unique function, I think they end up and generally are very unique, powerful people, man. So that being said, I hope the ENTJs out there learned a lot. I hope everybody learned a lot. And we'll definitely talk soon.